Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday live with me, Asiya Nasir, your favorite nonprofit founder, nonprofit founder of Jessica Cares, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that helps to empower teen girls and women. I just had a brain freeze for a second. That helps to assist teen girls to build up their self-esteem and sense of self-worth. And Wake Up Wednesdays is just one of those things that we do every other Wednesday to keep our girls focused, laser sharp focused, and showing up places and spaces where they can be the best versions of themselves, doing the self work, doing the personal development work, and really examining and self assessment to make sure that, they are aware of who they are so they show up, be the best that they can be. So, in case anyone didn't know what Jessica Cares was about, that was a little snippet of that. We've been around since 2010, which is this November, this month, the 10th, will make 15 years that we have been in existence. So we are extremely excited about that accomplishment. And we've helped hundreds and hundreds of girls to be able to move from feeling broken and unseen to being heard, seen, and their authentic selves. So I love the work that we have been able to do throughout the years. And so we've been doing Wake Up Wednesdays now for about a year. We've been doing Wake Up Wednesdays for about a year. We've had great response, talking about conversations and giving strategies and tools for girls to be able to show up their best selves and to make healthy decisions coming from a place of clarity and coming from a place of guidance, real good guidance for our girls. So today is no different. We're going to be talking about something, especially now with school just coming back into play. Some of our girls are seniors, some of our girls are now just entering into high school, and some of them are just now starting in the junior high school year, really starting to focus on what do I want to do with my life, what kind of career do I want to have. And at times they can feel pressured to go this way or that way, go to college, not go to college. And so today, that's what we're going to be talking about. And that is college or no college, making the right decision for your future. And that's really important. I know a lot of us, at my age, we didn't find our passion until much older. And what I want to do and what Jessica Cares wants to do is to help our girls to find their passion at a young age, but with clarity. And that's not going to come easy. And it takes a village to be able to help our girls to be able to find their purpose in life and what they want to do and to give through that purpose. So, today I'm just going to share a couple of strategies and some things, just some food for thought to think about as you delve into this space in your life, girls, and wanting to make the right decision for your future if college is for you or college is not for you. So one of the things and I'm only sharing two strategies today because I really, want to bring it home. And one of the things that I want to share is, again, as I mentioned before, being very clear. Any decision that we make in life, whether a teenager or whether we are as adults, being clear on things and not making haste decisions is extremely important. It is extremely important. And so I call this the career clarity map is really what I call it, is really knowing what career you want to do and with clarity. So there's a couple of questions, and I actually wrote the questions down because I did not want to mess up. But girls, when you're thinking about your future and when you're thinking about what it is that you want to do with your life, I want you to ask yourself these three questions. The first question is, what do I love to do naturally? What just comes natural to you that you absolutely love doing? Is it interior decorating? Is it cooking? Is it doing hair and you just find it very natural, doing makeup? Any one of those things. Do you find something that you do, making clothes? Do you find that natural? Does it come natural to you and you absolutely love doing it, right? So that's question number one. Question number two is, what skills do you already have or that you want to acquire? So is it something that you love to do naturally, but you still need some skill sets to be able to do it on a, a professional level? Or do you already have the skill set to be able to do it? Does it just come natural? Like I know some people, they cook, they've never taken a culinary class in their life, but you would have thought they did because it just comes natural. My grandmother was one of those. She and my aunt, they just naturally are the best cooks ever, and they don't do measurements and all of that stuff. They just naturally are able to cook. So do you already have the skill sets to be able to do some of the things that you want to do? And last, what kind of lifestyle do you want? Because that's really important as well. If you have a vision of what it is that you want to have, so whether that's income, whether that's flexibility, right? If you want to have flexibility with your time, or if you want to have a specific location that you want to do this in, these are things that you want to take into consideration when you're thinking about your career, and being very clear on these things, right? Because being clear on these things, you can then have a roadmap as to what's going to work for you. Is college going to work for you or no? Do I need college? Do I not need college, right? So this helps you to make an educated decision. And with these different things that you come up with, then you have to ask yourself, is education needed? And what type of education is needed? So if you want to be a lawyer, right, if that comes natural to you, whether it's civil rights or if it's criminal law, whatever it is, family law that you naturally love to do, and that's something that you enjoy, being a part of, debate team and things like that, ask yourself what education is needed. So if you want to be a surgeon, or if you want to be a dentist, or if you want to be a lawyer, these are things that require certain education and a certain amount of time. What type of time investment are you willing to put into it, right? Or time commitment are you willing to put in it? And let me just say, I didn't say that just the time that you have to put into it, but the commitment that you have to put in it. Because if it's something that you really want in life, you're going to be committed to it. So I just heard from one of my friends, she's a dentist. She said that she had to go 4-year college, and then she had to do 4 years of dentistry school. And then she had like I don't know if it's like I wouldn't say internship, but it was some type of where she had to be on hands doing it for like another year. So that took her 9 years. That was a commitment that she made in order for her to be a dentist, right? So what kind of education are you required to have? What's the time commitment that you have to make? And what's the potential growth? When you're looking at income. So if income is important to you, if you want to grow as a family and things like that, what's the income? What's the potential? Are you able to have your own practice? So if flexibility is something that is important to you, maybe this is something where you look at and say, well, in the beginning, it may not, but if I work hard enough, I can actually own my own practice, whether that's law, whether that's dentistry, whether that's, medical profession, whatever that medical profession is. Can I have my own practice and then have the flexibility that I'm looking for? So what's the growth potential for what it is that I'm looking to do? These are really, really important things to consider, because this helps you to be able to have some clarity as to whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to be a chef, or if you want to, cosmetology school, that takes maybe a couple of years, not necessarily college, but it does take some form of trade training that you would need in order to be able to move in that vein. So it's really important that you do this career clarity map and just asking yourself those questions, and then mapping that into what is the time commitment? Do I need college or no college? And what's the growth potential? All right. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, girls, is this is really important. And I know it's hard at your age because you have so many things coming at you. You have your parents, you have your guidance counselors, you have your friends, you even got social media now. You have social media that's coming at you and saying what you should do, what you should be, and all this stuff, what they want for you and what they see in you, your potential and all of this stuff. And it may not align with what it is that you want to do. So this strategy that I'm about to share with you girls is going to be something that you're going to have to push through. And that is, you're going to have to tune out the noise. You're going to have to tune out the noise. You gotta tune out the noise. So you gotta make sure that the decision that you're making for your future, understand that this is your future, the decision that you're making for your future, you gotta make sure that it is your voice that you're listening to just as loud as those that you care about. So yes, your parents are gonna have some input, right? But that's just it. It's just an input. It's not the all and be all. Right? And that's a difficult thing sometimes. That's a difficult thing sometimes, or your guidance counselors, or what people see in you. And they're like, oh, you're going to be the next this, or you're going to be the first in our family to do this. And that may not be what's in your heart, right? So what you have to do is you have to write down what voices are influencing you right now. Is it your parents? Is it your guidance counselor at school? Is it your teachers at school? Is it your friends? Is it social media? What's pressing you? What voices are you hearing most, as to what direction you should take with your life, right? And then what you want to do is ask yourself, whatever it is that they're, encouraging you to do, is it their dreams or yours? Is it their dreams or yours? And you got to be really clear on that, because you don't want to sit up here and go through, just say you want to go to law school. That's going to take a few years to be able to, and then you got to take the law, the examination to become an attorney. And what if that's not even what you want to do? Now you would have taken maybe up to 10 years of your life, doing something that you don't want to do. And here you are finding yourself now in your late 20s and in your early 30s, absolutely miserable in the profession that you've gone to school with, invested time in, and money in. And it's not even what you want, right? And more often than not, you get to my age and you end up following what it is that you want to do. And it's completely different from the path in which you initially chose. Because for some of you teen girls, you're choosing someone else's dreams to fulfill versus your own. And you can't do it. You're eventually not, your body or your faculties is going to know this is not for me. This is not what I want to do. And you're going to have a hard time getting up for work. You're going to want to call out a lot. And you may not do well in school because it's not your passion, right? It's not your passion. So what I want you to do is ask yourself, if no one else's opinion mattered, would I still choose this profession? Would I still choose that profession? Right? So you got to ask yourself this important question. If no one else's opinion, if my parents' opinion didn't matter, I could do what I want to do. If all the noise was shut out, would that be the profession that I want to do? Does it align with my soul? Does it align with what I really want to do in life? And do I see myself making a contribution in this profession? Right? So those are things that you really want to ask yourself in doing that. And girls, I know it's a difficult thing, but the next step is what's really gonna make it easier for you. And that is, you have to have that conversation with your parents. You got to have that conversation with your parents. You got to have that conversation with your guidance counselors and all, those that are really pressing and trying to guide you. And they mean well. Parents always mean well, especially for their children. They want better for them than they have for themselves. And teachers, they see potential and they want you to fulfill it. So it's coming from a good place. So when you have this conversation with them, make sure that you're having a conversation with respect, understanding that while they may see things differently than you, it's coming from a good place. Their intentions are in the right place. So when you have this conversation, the things that I just mentioned, doing your due diligence and getting this information, finding out if it's something that you want to do, right? It's a passion. Find out what it takes to be able to accomplish that. What's the time commitment? What's the cost, right? And what's the growth potential? What's the income that you can make? And then have an informed conversation with your parents. That's the most important thing, is having an informed conversation with your parents. Parents are, even if it differs from them, if you come to them as an not as a child throwing a temper tantrum and getting an attitude, but coming to them with respect, and then coming to them with you doing the due diligence and finding out the information that you need to find out about the profession that you want to do, and you share that with them. It's very difficult for parents to say, you know what, no, you're just going to do this, right? Because they can see that not only do you have a passion for it, but you took the time to do the research. You took the time to find out all of the information, answer maybe some of the questions that they may have or concerns that they may have. And now you're able to present it to them in a way that shows that not only is this your passion, this is something that you feel you can contribute to, but you found out all the things that's necessary in order to accomplish it. And that can be nothing but respected. You know what I'm saying? It can be nothing but respected. So when you come to your parents like that, that might be the turning point, or your guidance counselor having that turning point. So now that what you want and that you've done your due diligence, maybe the support then will be there, and the voices that were against what you're wanting to do can now be aligned with what you want to do and can actually support you in the endeavor that you want to take. So, have that conversation, say a prayer before you have the conversation, and then go, ask God to give you the guidance in your words, to be able to touch their heart, for them to be able to see that this is something really important to you, and that you've done the work to find out what needs to be done, so that way you can accomplish it. And their support is just going to make it that much easier for you to be able to do that, right? So parents, if you're listening with your children, I want you to hear this part, because this is really for you as well. Don't live vicariously through your children. A lot of times we, like I said, we end up growing up and realizing what our passion is, and maybe we lived, and did what was expected of us. And we want more for our children, right? As I mentioned to our girls, the intention is in the right place. But sometimes that intention can be pushed because we want to live vicariously through our children. We want to live vicariously through our children, and we want, to see them do what we didn't do. And that's not fair. That's not fair. Our job is to help our children to become the best versions of themselves, for them, because we all have a path to take. We all have something important to give to the world. So this is something that you want to support. And if your child is coming to you with with proof of what they want to do, doing their due diligence, sharing their passion and how they want to contribute into this profession, that should be supported. Because the more support you have, the more percentage, the higher percentage it is that they're going to be successful at it. And isn't that what you want at the end? So sometimes we just got to let that dream go, that dream that we didn't pursue, and make sure that our child is living not our dream, but their dream, right? So I wanted to really, excuse me. That's what I wanted to share this morning, and making sure in our Wake Up Wednesday that this is something really important. And this is the time, you're going possibly, college tours. Maybe college tour is not what your child wants to do. Maybe they want to visit a trade school. Maybe they want to visit, some a class on entrepreneurship, a course, a master class on entrepreneurship, because they don't want to go to college, but that they know exactly what they want to do, but they just need some tips and some guidance as to how to be able to get this done, right? There's so many professions now that wasn't around when we were growing up. You have these influencers now. You have people monetizing, their content creation and all this other kind of stuff on YouTube, and actually making a living off of this stuff. So it's very, very different. And we as parents and adults have to be able to understand that our children are living in a different world with different opportunities that we didn't have. So be open to listening to our girls, and hearing them, and actually helping them to be able to find out the information that maybe they don't have. So that, again, making an informed decision about their future. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share. Our Wednesdays are not going to be long. It's just these power punches to give you some real food for thought, to think about what it is that you want to do in your life, to show up authentically you, to be bold and courageous, to go after your aspirations. That is what Jessica Care stands for. Journey to becoming an extraordinarily strong, successful, individual with courageous aspirations. And that's what this is about as well. So, stay tuned for another Wake Up Wednesday that's going to come up in another 2 weeks. If you have topics that you really want us to talk about here on our Wake Up Wednesday, please email. I'm going to put my email here. Please email me, because this helps us be able to find content that is going to be important to our girls. So I just put it in the chat there. Jessica@jessicacares.org. Jessica@jessicacares.org. And if you're finding me here on Facebook or LinkedIn, you can inbox me. Inbox me and give me any suggestions that on topics that you would like to hear and discuss, because we want to make sure that we are showing up for you, teen girls, and giving you the information that you so need to be able to grow and be the best versions of yourself. So until the next Wake Up Wednesday, make it an intentional day, make it a purposeful day for you to make it great. And girls, think about what we just talked about, write down, do your due diligence, and have the conversation with those that are most important to you, your parents or your teachers that are helping you, your decision making for your future. Have an informed conversation, a respectful one, and I guarantee you it's going to go a long way. So until the next Wake Up Wednesday, see you then.